Please subscribe.
The name Shelby has consistently implied something exceptional when applied to a Mustang. For more than 50 years, the brand that Carroll fabricated has taken sometimes humble horse autos and transformed them into things rather progressively considerable. As of late, with the Shelby GT350, those things have been completely heavenly. That current GT350, as of late refreshed and retooled, is a machine that handles, and sounds, like no Mustang that preceded. Be that as it may, the GT500 was constantly intended to be Lord of the Slope, the greatest and baddest of the Shelby Mustangs. What's more, this, dear peruser, is the greatest and baddest Shelby Mustang of all. It's the 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, with an incredible 760 drive from a 5.2-liter supercharged V8. Not very far in the past that one figure would be all you had to realize when discussing the GT500. Be that as it may, for this most recent age we have to burrow further, in light of the fact that Ford says this isn't only the organization's most dominant creation vehicle ever, yet in addition the best taking care of GT500 ever. Go along with me as I hit the street, the track and the drag strip to see whether it conveys. We should begin with the numbers, since they are relentless great and obviously still very significant. The 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 packs 760 horsepower and 625 pound-feet of torque, created from its 5.2-liter V8. That is a similar fundamental square as found on the GT350, presently asked with taking care of 12 pounds per square inch from the Eaton supercharger settled down pleasantly inside the motor's V. To get it to fit, and to bring down the focal point of gravity, Ford builds really flipped the supercharger, so the twin parchments are on the base and the air-to-water intercooler is mounted up top. Motor internals are up appraise too to deal with that power, however the changes don't stop there. To the oil container, Ford included what its architects call dynamic confounds, fundamentally spring-stacked entryways that prevent the oil from running the incorrect route during high G moves on the racetrack. That is only the first of many, numerous changes that show the purpose for this GT500 to be as great on a racetrack all things considered on a drag strip. The suspension is profoundly improved in the course of the last GT500, versatile dampers front and back that, while they don't make the vehicle especially consistent on their gentlest settings, make it sensible out and about and fine on the track. In any case, more on that later. Choose the carbon fiber track pack, a fearless snap in the configurator at $18,500, and things get considerably increasingly intentional. A monster, flexible, carbon fiber wing shows up on the storage compartment and, in the inside, the back seat mystically vanishes. Generally noteworthy, however, are the carbon fiber wheels, which spare 15 pounds for every corner in spite of being totally huge. They're 20 crawls in measurement and an incredible 11.5 creeps at the back, enveloped by Michelin Pilot Cup Sport 2 tires, 305 30R20 front and 315 30R20 out back. That is a great deal of clingy elastic moving out and about. Be that as it may, it's required, on the grounds that the Mustang Shelby GT500 is a great deal of vehicle. What amount of vehicle? Attempt 4,171 pounds worth, around 300 more than a GT350. That's right, that is one major horse. In the event that a GT500 weren't great at the drag strip, a kind of existential fear would hang about the vehicle. It's a fundamental measurement in this present vehicle's prosperity, thus when it came time to truly put the vehicle under serious scrutiny, I was happy to begin at a quarter mile. The 2020 Shelby GT500 is formally evaluated with a 3.3 second 0 to 60 time, running the quarter in 10.7 seconds. Indeed, Hellcat fans, that is an entire second more slow than a demon, yet it's critical to take note of that the Mustang's time was determined to the vehicle's default Michelin Pilot Sport tires, not the sticky, messy sidewall drag radials of the SRT. The GT500 additionally set that time with a full supplement of 4 seats. Me? All things considered, in spite of a 30-mile-per-hour headwind and a newbie's inability, I dealt with an 11.5 on my absolute initially run. A thundering, incensed, unimaginably exciting run. A couple of gets later I figured out how to get down to an 11.3. Not awful for a racing novice. Aiding is the GT500's incorporated line lock mode, which makes picture impeccable burnouts as simple as squeezing a couple of catches. Configurable dispatch control lets you go through 100 revolution per minute augmentations, and afterward there's a definitive component, the DCT. While it does not have a few comforts a program can give on the strip, similar to the demonstrans brake, Ford's Nutramex Source DCT moves in only 80 ms. That is a hell of a bit of leeway over a customary manual, and when the vehicle is in drag strip mode, it even copies control moving, keeping on the throttle between gears. In any case, the genuine spot where I anticipated that the DCT should sparkle was on the track, and I was not frustrated. The street course Ford chose outside of Las Vegas Motor Speedway had all the rise changes and character of the parking garage that it obviously used to be. However, that didn't make it any to a lesser degree a test for the GT500, and we daring columnists who might attempt to use its 760 pull without spiraling off into the rock. It's a tight course with a couple of quick turns that require dauntlessness, a lot more that require persistence. Truly, persistence, in a Shelby GT500. After a couple of locating laps I was released and very quickly I felt agreeable at speed. The 16.5-inch front circles, pressed by Brembo calipers, motivated unimaginable certainty notwithstanding the lopsided blacktop, while the grasp of those Pilot Cup Sport 2 tires at the back implied the footing control remained surprisingly calm in spite of my, at times excited uses of the throttle. Leaving each tough maneuver, the GT500 jumps forward with a savagery that numerous advanced supercars need. No stresses over remaining on help or in the power band, simply put your correct foot down and afterward prepare for the following braking point. I'll advise you, this is a vehicle saying something abundance of 4,100 pounds. Truly, it takes a ton to move that much mass around. However, even through the track's solitary, quick chicane the GT500 joyfully moved, and later made simple work of the controlling when I got progressively sure. What's more, shouldn't something be said about the DCT? It worked very well, superior to anything I'd expected given it's a first for the Mustang. In light of a legitimate concern for testing, I drove myself away from it and programmed on the track. It worked superbly of picking the correct apparatus through corners, forcefully downshifting and fire-up coordinating when braking and offering quick fire-up shifts under quickening. Out and about, be that as it may, I thought that it was more irritating. In sport mode, the vehicle appeared to be always chasing for gears, moving to and fro until I yielded and tapped the M button in the focal point of the rotational shifter and utilized the wheel-mounted doors to pick my own. That is only one of the numerous parts of the vehicle that are effectively redone on the off chance that you like. The vehicle has 5 standard drive modes, controlling everything from suspension solidness to how ridiculously boisterous you'd like your fumes tone, yet you can roll your own mode also by means of the Shelby button on the directing wheel. The measure bunch is likewise pleasantly adjustable, giving you essential route or media data on the off chance that you like, or progressively scandalous stuff like a G-meter and a huge, flickering tachometer. Combined with Ford's straightforward however functional Sync 3 infotainment framework and an accessible 12-speaker B&O sound framework, you have yourself a muscle vehicle with splendid smarts. Unfortunately, however, those smarts don't reach out to the well-being side. Other than a vulnerable side data framework with cross-traffic alert, dynamic well-being frameworks are missing. What a vehicle! The GT500 is still every piece the mammoth it at any point was, however now it's a monster you can sensibly oversee on the everyday and even have a hell of a decent time around a racetrack. On the off chance that you can bear the cost of it, that is. The 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 begins at $72,900, and completely optioned with the carbon fiber track pack you're thumping on the entryway of 6 figures. For my cash, the $59,140 GT350 would be my pick, as that vehicle offers a lot of intensity and considerably all the more taking care of ability. In any case, the 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 is an amazing achievement and another high-water mark for muscle vehicle execution.